Welcome back to my channel Adhyan with Flow. Okay, let's start with angiosperm. What is the meaning of angio? Guys, they are seeds, ovule. They are covered with particular wall. Okay, they are not naked seeds. Okay, they are not naked. According to gymnosperm, they have naked without wall, but they have wall. And most commonly, we can also call it as a flowering plant. Clear or not? Because they have flower. Flower means they have female sexual part, they have male sexual part, beautiful petals, it means colorful petals. Okay, calyx. Okay, this thing is helpful in reproduction. Okay, now angiosperm divided into two classes, dicotyledon and monocotyledon. What is the meaning of dicotyledon and monocotyledon? Difference, huge difference. Dicotyledon, according to their name, di means two. Cotyledon, they have two cotyledon. When seed germinate, then if they have two cotyledon, means those plants are dicotyledon. But if seed have only one cotyledon, it means they put it on in monocots. Clear? Okay, guys, this is not difficult. They told us that flower have petals, they have calyx, corolla, anther, okay, gynoecium. Okay, they express, they describe the part of flower one by one, means they describe stamen. What is the structure of stamen? Then you have to clear. Then what is stamen? Guys, one word is what? This is the male sex organ. Male sex organ. This is the one word. Okay, now how they look? Their outer appearance is what? Like this in manner. Like this in manner. This is what? Long cylindrical structure. What is this? We call it as a filament. Filament. Now, this is the what? They contain what? Pollen sac, means this part, what they do? They make pollen grains. Yes, guys, these pollen grains are helpful in fertilization. Okay, now little bit let's discuss about female sex organ. The name is what? The name is what? Egg. Now, ovule. This is what? Female sex organs. How they look? Look at here. This is a female sex organ. This is the what? Stigma. Here these pollen grains reach here via help of water, via help of air, via help of any kind of animal. So those pollen grain located transport here to, this is the part of female sex organ. Now here they fix, they arise their pollen tube because they have male gamete, and there is a egg, and now they fertilize this thing. This part is stigma, this long part is called as a style, and this shape we call it as a ovule, and this is what? Egg. If I zoom the egg, how they look? If I zoom egg, look at here. Look at here. Okay, this is important. Now these cells, we call it as a antipodal cells. These are bipolar cells, and this is the egg cell. Now pollen tube reach here and fuse this egg cell. This is the egg cell, and these both we call it as a synergid cells. All things is written here. All things are written here. This is the monocot plant, and this is the dicotyledon plant. How you identify? They have dicot. They have two cotyledons during their germination, and they have one cotyledon during their germination. Okay, now here they describe double fertilization. Now listen to me carefully. I am drawing a flow chart for you, so you can easily understand what is fertilization and what is double fertilization. Now listen to me carefully, guys. You know what is female sex organ and what is male sex organ? Guys, here I told about anther. This is the filament part, this is the stamen part, and here I talk about what? Look at here, the ovary part. This is the stigma, this is the style, and this is the what? Ovule. Okay, previously I described all things. Then this part is contain what? Egg. And this part of stamen with what they contain? They contain pollen grains. Now clear or not? Now clear or not? Now I told you na, these pollen grain transferred to the female part. Here they are transferred, right or not? They are transferred. Now here they attach. Here they attach. I am zooming here. Let me draw for you. This is the what? Style. This is the long. This is the style. This is the ovule part, and this is the what? Curve shaped structure is what? Stigma. Here guys, pollen grains are situated. And here is what? Here is egg. Now they have antipodal cells or not? Yes. This is the egg cell. This is the synergid cells. And these are pollen nuclei. Clear? Now this is the pollen grain. Now pollen grain, what they do? They arise pollen tube. What they do? Arise pollen tube. Now pollen tube reach towards the egg cell and now they fertilize. How they fertilize? I am zooming here. This pollen tube, what they contain? They contain male gamete. And here is egg cell. Now this male gamete fuse with egg cell. This is called fertilization. If male gamete fuse with egg cell, we call it as what? Fertilization. Now you clear or not? You clear or not? Now next thing, if this one, another male gamete come and fuse with these polar nuclei, it means they called it as a double fertilization. I am writing here, if male gamete fuse with polar nuclei, we call it as a what? Double fertilization. Now I think it's clear. Now it's clear. You can betterly understand what is fertilization and what is double fertilization. I clear everything. Look at here. Look at whatever I explained here, now already written here. Look at here. This is what? This is the male sex organ. Yes or not? Wait. This is the male sex organ. This is the sign of male. What they have? This is the long filament structure. What they contain? Multiple, huge amount of pollen grains. How they make pollen grains? Because they have pollen sacs. Because they have what? Pollen sacs. Who form pollen sacs? Guys, microsporangia form pollen sacs. Pollen sacs form pollen grain. And pollen grain now in future they form what? Pollen tube. With male gamete. Now this is what? This is the female sex organ. This is a sign of female. Okay, this is the stigma part. This is the style part. Here pollen grain are reach here and they make a pollen tube and fertilize egg cell. How egg cells are formed? Because the help of megasporangium. How pollen grains are formed? With the help of microsporangia. How eggs are formed? With the help of megasporangia. Mega means I am talking about female, and I said micro, it means I am talking about male. Okay, now everything is clear. Okay guys, microsporangia, what they form? Microspore means simple guys, pollen grain. Come on guys, pollen grain. This is the scientific word and you have to remember both scientific as well as common word also. They form pollen grain. Pollen grain in future what they form? Pollen tube. Look at here, they have pollen tube and this is fused with egg cell. And these are what? Male gamete. If male gamete fuse with egg cell, we call it as a fertilization. If another male gamete fuse with these pollen nuclei, we call it as a double fertilization. Clear? Now in future they form zygote to embryo and embryo to whole plant, and these plant have flower, and flower what they have? Male reproductive organ as well as female reproductive. These are okay. This cycle is complete. I think you are clear. Okay. Now these are what? Cycles. Okay guys, this is important for your theoretical exam. Alright, but in the competitive examination now, they asked you one word question. Who perform sporophytic generation? Who perform sporophytic diploid, haploid, diploid? Okay, then you have to focus on this thing. Okay, how, when which time they perform sporophytic timing, and which time they perform gametophyte. Alright. Okay, if in your examination they asked draw a haploid plant life cycle, then you have to draw this cycle. If in your examination they ask draw diploid plant cycle, then you have to remember this cycle. And if they ask draw a haploid diploid, then you have to remember this thing. And you are very familiar with this thing. Okay, what is spore, what is gamete, what is zygote. Alright guys. Okay, now in your examination point of view, it means neat. Guys, what they do? They ask that volvox, spirogyra and chlamydomonas, which kind of pattern they represent, then you have to remember that time. Okay, so you have to remember example. Okay, in your according to your competitive examination, you have to remember who show which kind of plant cycle. Okay, so guys, that's all for now, and your chapter is also complete. We will meet in next video with a new chapter. So that's all for now. Thank you. And guys, revise. Revision is the key of your rank. Okay, and don't forget to subscribe my channel Adhyan with Flow, ADHYYAN with Flow. Thank you guys. Thank you for listening me, for watching me my video. Thanks a lot.